How do we deal with black bars on your vertical video footage? There are a couple of ways to do this, but the most popular is to have an image behind your footage, enlarge that and then blur it. Sounds easy, right? I thought so too, but I encountered a few problems that perhaps you might have encountered as well in Vinci Resolve. I'm going to show you how to make your black bars look better and also how to include transitions without any strange problems. Okay, so we're in Vinci Resolve under the Edit tab, and I've just imported 3 clips that were shot on a smartphone, and as you can see we've got those black bars either side. The 3 clips I want to sequence together look like this at the moment. So the black bars take up pretty much all of it and it's quite unsightly. So the first way to get around this that I've found is to go over to your toolbox and on your open effects and scroll down until you can find Resolve FX Stylize. Now select blank infill, drag that into your clip. As you can see we've got that blur there, so we want to try and tidy that up a little bit. So we go into our open effects tab in the inspector, and then we can just maybe up the blur a little bit, and I find zoom into timeline seems to look a bit better for my liking. So let's just bring that blur down a little bit. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I'll do the same on the second clip, then I'm going to show you what transitions look like with this setup. So when I play back it looks like this, which looks much better than the black bars. Now I want to put a transition in to make it a little bit more interesting. So we go to our video transitions, and I'm just going to put a cross dissolve in just to demonstrate what happens with this option. So as I play back, the background disappears and we go back to the black bars and then back again. Now I've tried to figure out how to stop this from happening, and I'm quite new to Vinci Resolve, so I had to do a lot of searching on YouTube and I just couldn't find anything that told me how to use a transition with this method. So I thought, right, let's try the other option. Okay, I've reset them back to how they were. The next method to do this is to copy the 3 clips and then paste them back onto the timeline, and then put this clip above the original clips. The idea is now, from what I found on YouTube, is to go into the background clip, go to your inspector and zoom this in to enlarge it. So I'm zooming and nothing's happening. Let me try it on the second clip. This isn't happening either. So I looked on YouTube to try and figure this out and see if I could find an answer, but it's such a unique question. I didn't get the results that I wanted, so I thought I'm going to have to try and figure something out myself. So eventually I figured out a way around this. If you go to your background clip and then enlarge it, now as you can see nothing's changed. But if I go into the top clip and reduce the opacity, all of a sudden we've got that background. Obviously I don't want to lose opacity, but I figured out that if you just put in 99.99 on the opacity, it brings it down just that fraction so it doesn't affect the top image and you can see the image behind it, like this. So I did the same thing for all of them. Okay, so we've managed to get the background. Now we need to blur it. Go into Open Effects and pick Gaussian Blur. Drag that onto the bottom clip. Make sure it's on the bottom clip, and we'll put them in all 3. Okay, so from our first clip we want to adjust this. So first of all we can increase the blur strength. I think that looks about good. And then as you can see there's a black border around it. Now if you want to get rid of this black border, go to border type and click on reflect, and that way it fills the whole screen. And then we just do the same thing on the other two. So this is what our footage looks like now if we play it back, which looks much better than having those black bars. Now for the ultimate test, will the transitions work? Let's have a look. So video transitions, let's try cross dissolve, play it back and see what we get. Okay, so the transition works, but it looks a bit jumpy. So what we do, we get the cross dissolve and we put it on the bottom clip as well, and this should dissolve the whole lot. Much smoother. Transitions that dissolve or move the footage upwards or downwards seem to work okay and look okay. But if you want to do like a spin, left or right whip, I'll show you what happens. So I downloaded some fusion transitions from Mr. Alex Tech, who is a YouTuber, and he does some brilliant videos on Vinci Resolve. And if I select, say, a spin and put it into the footage, we'll do the same as before, put it in the bottom one just in case. Now watch what happens. As you can see, the whole of the vertical clip spins. Now I don't particularly like that, but you might think it looks okay. So that's totally a stylistic choice. And it's the same with the whip pans left and right. You'll see that the whole of the vertical image moves. But if you don't mind this, then it's fine. I found the best transitions to use are the zoom in and outs and the whip ups and downs. If we select zoom through, I think the zoom through looks pretty good. So let's leave it at that for now. So this just shows you that there is a way around it that I managed to figure out. It's not ideal, but it looks much better than it did before. So let's have a look. So I managed to find a way around those issues, and now I've got the blurred background and I've got smooth transitions, which is perfect. I mean, it's not an ideal way of doing it, there may be an easier way and I might have missed something very simple. If you've noticed that, then please put it in the comments, because it will save me and anyone else watching some time. I hope that solves that problem for you. Please put in the comments if you have any other ways around those problems that I encountered, or if you have any other methods that can make our black bars look a bit more interesting. If you found this video helpful, please remember to press subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.